Sorry.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, my bad.
No, well, you just heard it earlier from our players. As far as overall, defensively, our guys were pretty locked in and dialed into playing against a very good offensive team in Wisconsin. Give credit how all the movement that happens within our offense in the beginning of the game. We kind of got hurt with some of the bad cuts or late layups, but each time out, we kept reminding our guys about, there's moments where we can't get caught ball watching. At the same time, we make sure we got to get out to shooters and contest shots. And then the last thing would be is, limited to one-shot opportunities. But unfortunately, we failed in that area because in first half, they had 7 offensive rebounds, and then in the second half, the same. And it's tough to win on the road when you give a team extra possessions like the way we did with 14 offensive rebounds and then 12 turnovers. And the turnovers are very undisciplined, like for us, because typically we usually take care of the basketball, but unfortunately tonight, we had some travel calls that was sort of unusual, but we take ownership of it. We'll go back home, fix it, and try to get better for our next matchup. But I love the way our team came on the road and competed. Give Wisconsin a lot of credit. They have a really good team, well-coached team, and I expected that it was going to be one of these games where you had to come in and bring your hard hat and try to win the muscle areas. But unfortunately, we failed in that area.
Okay, questions for Coach? Go ahead.
Coach, it seemed at times you were motioning for your team to slow down. What kind of disrupted the patience on offense from Wisconsin's defense?
Well, our offense actually was flowing pretty well. If you look at the fact that we were able to get the ball in spots where we wanted to, like take for example with Hunter with some of his post ups. He scored early and quite often in the paint. And then like Kobe mentioned, there were times where within the floor of the offense he was able to attack and capitalize on wherever the defense did. He made sure that he was aggressive in that area. But overall, like I said before, 12 turnovers. We got to do a better job in that area of taking care of basketball.
Someone over here have a mic. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Do you feel you have, the personnel to rebound better defensively? They just need to do things differently?
Definitely. I love our personnel. I love every guy, and I trust everyone in that locker room. I love that personnel.
So I guess what do you plan to do differently to try to improve the defensive rebound?
Well, this is not the first game that we've given up offensive rebounds, so we'll go back in practice and we'll continue to keep growing in that area. We fixed it before, we'll fix it again.
Go ahead, right here in front, Coach.
Juwan, there was the tragedy at Michigan State last night.
Yes.
Have you been able to talk to anyone from Michigan State or reach out to anyone?
Yes, I have. I've talked to Coach Izzo by text as well as Coach Mel Tucker, just letting them know that we at Michigan, despite the sport and how we both are rivals, but when it comes to a tragedy like that, you put the sport aside, and all you think about is that those lost ones that that unfortunately had to deal with that situation. Our prayers and thoughts are with the families. We'll continue to pray and support Michigan State as they deal with this sad tragedy.
Were you able to talk to your team at all today or last night about it?
Yes, we had a conversation.
They're sharing the mic right there, Coach.
Hey, John, did you give Will any advice, going into his first start, and what do you think of his play today?
Well, Will, it's no surprise to me because the young man has worked extremely hard. This being his second year, he's been very patient, waiting his turn, but also at the same time just feeding life to the team. Now this year he get an opportunity to play more, and being a first start, it's nothing to try to make it more different than what it is, overall by playing when he's not starting. I always say this, next man up and just stay ready. And he showed that tonight. You know, he made some really good plays, also some aggressive plays to the basket. He also did very well defensively versus a tough matchup in Tyler Wall, but you know, he accepted that challenge, which no surprise to me, the staff, and team. You know, I love coaching Will, and you know, it's nice to have more Wills on our team.
Right here, and then Chris, second, go ahead.
You guys don't generally double the post, but, and Steven Crowell was 5 for 15, so he didn't necessarily have the biggest offensive night, but also had the 6 assists. Just what kind of a challenge does he present in the post?
A big fella is definitely a big presence in that inside, whether it's rebounding or playing with his back to the basket. But then he also can, you know, face the basket and make threes from the outside. So we knew it was going to be a challenge for us. At the same time, we wanted to make sure that he plays defense on the other end versus our big guy Hunter Dickinson, who who welcomes the challenge. But you know, it wasn't more of just those two as far as a one-on-one matchup. Just overall, I thought it was a really good game. It's extremely competitive game. Just unfortunate we came out on the losing end.
Chris?
Coach, Connor had a career-high 23 points tonight. What has stood out to you about his freshman season and kind of what he's given the Badgers right off the jump here this year?
Well, he shoots the ball extremely well, and you know, when you can shoot the ball like that, you always will get a chance to play. You know, every coach in America loves to have shooting on the floor. But then at the same time, that's not the only thing he does. You know, he does well cutting it with off the ball. He also is a competitor. You know, he plays with a certain level of intensity that helps, you know, his team, you know, in ways where, you know, you can always count on him at some point, you know, when he's open, he's going to be able to make you pay and hurt you. And sure enough, he did that tonight.
We'll get Todd in the back too, but we'll take it, well, you're getting a mic to Todd. But go ahead.
Coach, in the first half, Hunter Dickinson had a strong first half, 4 or 6 for 9 points. In the second half, didn't make the field goal. What was the change that Wisconsin had defensively, and really, what was the difference between the first and second half?
Well, you know, Hunter's an extremely unselfish ball player. He also is a playmaker as well. So, you know, Hunter understood that Kobe, you know, got going, and you know, he was able to, you know, find him, also set ball screens for him, and at the same time, you know, down the stretch, he was extremely active and affecting the game on a defensive end. Because if you look at, you know, Wisconsin numbers from field goal percentage, they shot 33.8% from the field, and a lot had to do with because of Hunter and his presence on the inside.
Todd in the back, Coach.
Coach, I wonder if Hunter, if you feel like he embraces kind of that villain role that he played a little bit tonight in front of their student section. Do you get that sense out of him at all?
Hunter's a competitor, man. He loves the game of basketball. So I love, you know, having Hunter and I've been with him now for 3 years. And you know, I'm in the trenches with Hunter 24/7.
Okay, one more question, go ahead.
Yeah, Juwan, sort of building off of that, a question I asked some of the other players. I imagine you guys knew it would be a somewhat hostile environment in here this evening after what happened last year, maybe not. And it seemed like some of the players played into it, one player wearing a mask walking in to talk about stealing the performance or stealing a win, another wearing a free Juwan shirt in pregame. I wonder what your thoughts are about your team either having your back or just sort of embracing the role of whatever that role might have been today.
You know, family, man. You know, that's one of the core values of our team. We based our culture on family. Overall, you know, what happened last year was, as we talked about, you know, apologize for it. And, I wish that we can have that situation back because never would have reacted the way I did. And you know, I hurt a lot of people, and my family, my team, obviously Wisconsin, the coaching staff, fans here, the Michigan fans, and I just don't ever want, you know, this to always be, you know, remembered as, you know, that's that moment. But yes, it's going to be brought up a lot. You know, do I regret it? Yes, I do. And do I wish I could have it back? Yes, I do, because I would have never reacted the way I did. Because even though that was me, but that's really not who I am as an individual. But my players know that, and so they know the love that I have for them. and they understood when I had a conversation about the incident, I took ownership of it, and I'm still growing, but I'm also vulnerable to let them know that those moments right there, you can learn from and make sure you don't make those mistakes. And that's the connection that we have. And so I'm so honored and blessed to have young men in that locker room that is enjoying the experience and representing that Go Blue, amazing blue. But I had no idea about the mask and what it symbolized, or a free Juwan t-shirt. I was so locked into making sure that I prepared for the game plan versus a very tough team in Wisconsin. And by the way, too, I've had a conversation, as you guys know, I'm sure you've seen it at our Big Ten Media Day with, Coach Gard, Greg Gard, and I, we talked, and then also had a really good conversation with Joe, and he and I, just had a really good moment, and it was just great just to sit down and talk to Gard, but at the same time, just talk to Joe. And overall, I can't tell you exactly what we say, that's more private, but it was a very good conversation.
Thank you, Coach.